Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. Hope you're having a great day today. And we're moving at the speed of light. So, I was trying to find a good time to make this video and really couldn't get time to make it, so I'm gonna make it during the actual work day when we're getting it done and kind of show you how this thing works. So as part of GCI Turf Pro and the whole Pro thing, I am introducing you guys with a lot of stuff you may already know about. Some different Pro type mixing equipment and things like that. Absolutely love the stuff. I stand behind it 100%, along with the companies that actually make the things. And that's kind of why I'm showing it to you. Is I want some of the tricks and tips and things I've done for years. I want to kind of pass that on to other pro guys, and then at the same time grow my own business. Okay, I want you to grow your business by being more efficient in the things you do in your lawn care company, and then by offering this stuff and selling this stuff, I'm growing my business as well. So we're kind of helping each other out. So this is Even Mix. It is a Tote mixer, and obviously this isn't a DIY homeowner type video. This is strictly for pro guys. I don't know too many homeowners that are going to buy their material in totes. Pretty much everything we buy, from bios to nutrients to whatever, you name it, we buy it in totes. Your cost per gallon is going to be cheaper, and you know it all boils down to cost per thousand for us. We don't necessarily look at the price of the package, meaning if I had a 2.5 gallon, you know, this cost per thousand on this 1 gallon jug is going to be quite a bit different than the cost per gallon of the exact same material that's in this tote. So we refrain from buying the gallon sizes and even 2.5 gallon sizes. Everything we get, if it's available in a tote, we buy it in a tote. A lot of you pro guys, applicators, you may not quite be there yet. I understand that 100%. I was in your shoes at one point in time where I would go and I would have to buy the gallon because that's all the money I had. It's all I could afford. My customer base wasn't big enough to allow the amount of money needed to purchase an entire tote of stuff. And this is 275 gallons or 250 gallon tote, 250 gallon tote right here. I think they make a 275 tote, but most of ours are 250 gallons. But the point I'm making is you have to start somewhere. I didn't start my company by buying the biggest thing I possibly could so I could get the cheapest price. I made a gradual incline, a hard incline, a tough incline to get to where I'm at now. So use that as encouragement, number one, that if you stick with it, you do good work, you honor your word, you'll get there. And at some point in time, you'll be able to buy totes. Your cost per gallon will go down. That means your cost per thousand goes down. Potentially maybe what you charge goes down, and you're still maintaining the same margin level you want to be at, all while providing the service a little less expensive to the customer and getting your product cheaper. So you know it's a win-win-win-win-win situation when you graduate and you're able to buy things in bulk or in volume. Obviously, again, this is only applicable to a certain group of folks, lawn care companies that buy their stuff in totes. If your stuff sits in a tote and sits for any length of time, I don't care what product you have. I've yet to see a product that don't settle out some, meaning the tote sits still, idle, and it's not being moved by a tow motor or you know any other means. It's just sitting still in your shop. The material inside the tote sometimes will separate. Of course, that goes back to the blending process of how good the blender is, and creating the formula in such a way that it minimizes the fallout. Okay, fallout's not the right word, I don't think. I think separation is the right word, or dropout. You want stuff to stay in solution well, and for the most part, a lot of them do that. But when a tote sits for so long, I don't care what it is, a lot of the times the material will fall out and drop to the bottom of the tank, and then you've got a lot of, maybe the good stuff in the bottom of the tank, or the bad stuff in the bottom of the tank, or whatever. It's not a homogeneous mixture no more, so you need to recirculate that, and you need to stir it up. Well, there's many different options out there. I like the even mix. It's super simple. You saw how quick I mounted this to the tote. So it's super simple to turn on to activate. I'm basically going to turn my power on right there. This play button right here, I'm going to hold it down for a couple of seconds, let off of it. You can see it start spinning. You can hear it. Then I've got a plus and a minus button right here. I can go all the way up to 20 if I want. And you can see right there, I get extremely good agitation. I mean, it is like incredible agitation that mixes that product up super good and gets it redistributed throughout the entire contents of the tank. So if you're looking for something to keep your totes agitated and mixed up, I'll link these up in the description below. The bridge, this black part right here that sits on the tote, is a separate item and sold separately from the mixer itself. Let me turn this down so you can hear me. You can see this cap right here doesn't have a hole in it, but this one has a where you take this fitting out and the mixer would screw into here. But I think, I'd have to double check, but I think the base mixer actually comes with the cap already screwed in. So you take your tote cap off, you take your tote cap off and just screw the mixer right on. I think that's the way that works. Or you use the bridge, you use one of the two. I prefer the bridge, I just like it better. We actually have two of these down here. I use one for this side, one for the adjuvant over there, and then we have two of them up in the shop when I'm blending and mixing for our guys to go out in the field and spray, clientele's yards. We always use these 100% of the time. Every time I mix, my system is set up where I have a line of totes, and as it's pulling from each individual tote, they're all stirring and mixing, because I want my solution to be perfect when it goes out into the field. If you're buying in totes and you don't have a way to actually mix your product before you put it into your spray truck or whatever, my opinion is you should be doing that, because that's pretty important to get the solution mixed up before you use it. Every once in a blue moon, we have to buy the fans or the mixers. I keep one of those sitting around. It is stainless steel, but every now and then it'll get to where it doesn't work right, and we'll just replace that and keep going. Now, here's another trick. If you don't, we actually did this for a while ourselves and still do it. You can take a tote and you can use the actual tote for your bulk mixing station. And what I mean by that is you take your tote and you cut you out a square hole right here in the top of the tote. The one I have up there goes the length of the entire tote right here on the top. It's a big square opening. And then I've got a bulkhead plumbed in with my water supply, so I can just go cut a valve on and put some water in the tank. If you melt down ammonium sulfate, if you melt down urea, Umax, Uflex, any of those granulars that you would actually melt down and apply as a liquid. That can be a little tricky to melt down properly. So this setup is absolutely perfect for that, meaning you put some water in it, figure out how much you're going to mix or whatever, put enough water in it for that, that amount of product you're putting in there. And of course, that's all based on your calibration and all. That's a different video. And then you just take your even mix, turn it on, let the water be stirring up, and then you dump your urea, ammonium sulfate, or UMax, or whatever, straight into the tote. And it mixes it like a champion. When you're melting down urea and stuff like that, you want to let the thing run for a little while. Okay, you don't want to just dump it in there, turn it on, and go pump it in your truck. Okay, it's not going to melt down quite as quickly. So you want to make sure you give yourself plenty of time to break down all that urea or ammonium sulfate or whatever's in it, so that it becomes in liquid form. So that's something we've been doing. You could do that in your garage if you have room for a tote and you work out of your home. You could have this set up right here. Now I don't have the totes. You have to locate a tote on your own. But you could get the even mix, put it in a tote, cut a hole out, and you have your own way of blending your material. And then of course you'd pump that into your nurse tank on your truck, or your sprayer on your truck, or whatever it may be. I used to dump bags of urea over in the top of the sprayer, and it took forever to melt that stuff down. I mean, it would be 10 o'clock before I got to going. Now I can mix and you can be out the door in no time. So I just wanted to share that with you too as well. That's a good idea for solo applicators and things like that want to be able to mix efficiently and quickly. That this is the bomb setup. Again, as part of GCI Pro, I want to help lawn care companies figure this stuff out. I've already done it all. I know what works and what don't work. The even mix absolutely works hands down better than anything else I've ever used. I've tried the things you put on a drill and stick it down there and spin it. I've tried air tube, put it down there and bubble it, and none of them mix as good and as quickly and as efficiently as the even mix. So hands down gets my recommendation. That's why I attach my name to it. That's why I have it on my website for sale now, because in my opinion, it's the best out there. So as always, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch. I'll check you later.